Did you close the garage?
That's it. I forgot to close the garage. That's it.
No, that's not it.
What else could we be forgetting?
Kevin!
Unlike Kevin, Catherine O'Hara is someone who is hard to forget. She's always been someone with one of those faces you can spot in a second, even if you can't immediately name the movie. She's the frantic, lovable mom from Home Alone, the gloriously over-the-top Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek, and the perfectly strange presence who helped make Beetlejuice feel like a party thrown by ghosts. For decades, she made people laugh while still feeling like a real person, not just a character machine. That's why the news of her death at 71 landed like a cold splash of water. The early headlines were short on specifics, but they pointed to a sudden medical emergency, a brief illness, and a fast-moving crisis that unfolded in the dark hours before sunrise. Today, we're going to talk about what happened in Catherine O'Hara's tragic final hours. A final public night out.
One day, sir, mark my words, One day, sir, mark... One day, sir, one day... I can't.
In late October 2025, O'Hara made what would become her last public appearance at the Angel Awards, a gala hosted by Upward Bound House. The event was held at Proper Hotel Santa Monica, and she was photographed posing with other guests and pausing for red carpet pictures. She wore a green-striped pantsuit paired with a black button-up shirt, the kind of sharp look that still felt relaxed. She attended with her husband, Beau Welch, and the two looked comfortable together as they moved through the event. One guest described a contrast that would later stand out. Quote, "She seemed to be in great spirits, however, and was very friendly and upbeat and lovely," the source said. In the same account, the observer also noted a visible change and added, "Her face was almost gaunt, but she still looked very pretty." Inside the room, she was seen seated with other attendees, participating in the night like everyone else. The Angel Awards honored chefs and community leaders who support the mission to end homelessness, so the atmosphere was upbeat. From the outside, it looked like a normal public evening for a working actor. A brief illness behind closed doors.
There's some reports coming out saying possibly it was some type of illness that she was suffering that led to her death. Of course, we'll wait for more information to come forward. But I think it shocked everyone because it wasn't long ago we were seeing her there on stage.
After that October night, O'Hara was not seen much in public, which was not unusual for her. She often kept her private life private, even while her work was everywhere. Still, when reports later described her passing as following a brief illness, it suggested a health turn that moved quickly. There was also a professional detail that hinted at timing. She was supposed to film season 2 of The Studio, but she pulled out of the project only days before she died. That kind of last-minute change usually does not happen unless something serious is going on. At the same time, the public record remains limited. Her cause of death was not revealed, and there's no detailed public breakdown of symptoms leading to the emergency beyond what was shared about trouble breathing. That lack of detail can make people want to fill in blanks, but it also sets a boundary for what can honestly be said right now. So the timeline between her final public appearance and the emergency remains mostly private, with only a few signposts: a reportedly brief illness, a sudden shift in work plans, and then an early morning call for help. The emergency call before dawn. The clearest clock time in the reporting is the emergency response itself. Los Angeles Fire Department responded to a call at around 4:48 a.m. after O'Hara experienced breathing difficulty. Paramedics arrived and transported her to the hospital. She was listed in serious condition at the time of transport. Those words carry weight, but they don't explain what caused the breathing trouble or how long it had been building. They do, however, underline that this was not a mild scare. A call placed before 5 a.m. usually means a situation that feels urgent in the moment. Someone in the home realizing waiting was not the move and emergency help was requested right away. It's a small detail, but it speaks to the pace of what happened. From there, public information becomes limited again. We know she was taken to the hospital, but without an announced cause of death or a fuller official account, it would be irresponsible to pretend we know the minute-by-minute story after that transport. A rare condition that drew attention.
Well, tributes continue to pour in for Catherine O'Hara, who died after a short illness. She was 71. Now we're learning the Home Alone actress had a rare genetic condition that she jokingly said made her feel like a freak.
Another reason these reports drew attention is that O'Hara had previously spoken about having dextrocardia with situs inversus, a rare birth defect in which the organs in the chest and abdomen are positioned in a mirror image of normal anatomy, as described by Cleveland Clinic. She said in 2021 she learned only as an adult that her heart was in an unusual location. Health reporting around the condition explains that dextrocardia can fall on a spectrum. Some people have the mirror image layout and live without major issues, while others have additional congenital heart differences that can lead to complications later. Specialists also noted that many people might not notice anything unusual until the condition is discovered by accident. One expert described the basic idea in plain terms. Quote, "If everything is switched, things sort of work." Another explained how it can be discovered unexpectedly, saying, quote, "Somebody's lived their entire life and then they get a sedative for a procedure and all of a sudden they're in arrhythmia and we discover the heart's been in the wrong place this whole time." This helps explain why the condition became part of the public conversation after her death, but they don't establish a direct link to what happened in her final hours. Reporting has emphasized no cause of death has been declared, and experts are avoiding discussing her specific case. Work plans, tributes, and what we actually know.
And thank you for including me, your fake mom who left you home alone not once but twice, to share in this happy occasion. I'm so proud of you.
When the news spread, tributes came quickly from people who worked with her and from fans who felt like they grew up with her performances. Reports mentioned fellow actors mourning her, including Alec Baldwin and her on-screen son from Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin. The speed of those reactions reflected how widely loved she was. Reporting at the time also emphasized her family. She's survived by Bo Welch and their 2 sons, and that matters because the most personal parts of the story belong to them, not to headlines. Public timelines can only go so far, especially when a family is processing a sudden loss. There's also the whiplash of the final stretch, as it's been described. She was scheduled to work, then she pulled out days before, then a pre-dawn emergency call, then a transport to the hospital in serious condition. Even without extra details, that sequence tells you the situation escalated quickly. Until an official cause of death is shared, the most responsible way to talk about her final hours is to stick to what has been documented. Her last public appearance in October 2025, the description of a brief illness, the early morning breathing difficulty call, and the rapid trip to the hospital. Now it's time to hear from you. When you think of Catherine O'Hara, what's the first role or scene that pops in your head? And did anything in the public timeline of her final hours surprise you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.